Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is your daily Bible class. We're looking at the Sermon on the Mount, and the beatitude that says, "Blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted." Now, this particular beatitude has, of course, a couple meanings. The first one is quite obvious. It's for those who have lost someone very special in our lives. Now, that can be through death, or it can also be through a loss of a relationship. And what God promises to do is He promises to comfort you. He promises to be there. It's so important to know that God is going to be there. And when we talk about the Beatitudes, it's talking about having an attitude. Let this be your attitude. That when you find yourself in that time of grieving, when you find yourself in that time of isolation, when you feel that you're all alone, know this, that you're going to be comforted. The Lord made a promise in Matthew chapter 28, verse number 20. He said, "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Now, the devil loves to trap us. He loves to isolate us. He loves to make people feel as if they have no future. There's no hope. You'll never get out of this situation. You'll never get out of this rut. You know what a rut is? A rut is a grave with both ends kicked out. And if you find yourself in a rut, what you need to do is you need a helping hand. And that's where the Lord comes in. He is going to be that helping hand. He's going to be with you every step of the way. Sometimes you don't feel Him, but you need to know this. He is going to be there. When you're in that time of discouragement, that time of oppression, maybe even depression, God is going to be there. He'll reach down, He'll touch you, and if you're willing to take His hand, it's a marvelous, marvelous thing. He can set you free. He made this promise. He said, "I will comfort you." He'll give you that oil of joy for mourning, that garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. He will be the one that will bring you out of that pit of despair. He will break the bondage. Jesus said, "I have come to set the captive free." And as it says in the book of Corinthians, who the Son sets free is free indeed. And that's also in the book of John. You can be set free today. Jesus said, as the second one, He said, "Listen this, let this be your attitude. Know that in that time of mourning, that time of isolation, where you're grieving over a loss of a loved one or a loss of a relationship, turn to the Lord today, and you will be comforted. He will send Himself in some form, or He'll send Himself in the form of another person, but in one way or another, you are going to be comforted. The Lord will send someone there to help you. The Lord Himself will be your help. I know this one story where this man was very discouraged over the whole situation that he found himself in. He had lost someone very special in his life. And he said, "Lord, I feel so alone right now." And he said, "Lord, could you send someone?" And almost instantaneously, there was a phone call from an old friend who said, "I was praying and the Lord told me to phone you." And the man was able to share what he was going through. They prayed together, and in that moment, God brought victory. Maybe as well, the Lord wants to use you in that capacity. Maybe you know someone today that's going through a hard time, and they need your encouragement. Why don't you give them a call? Why don't you send them an email? Why don't you get on Skype? They may be across the world and they need your help. But right now, maybe the best thing for you to do is pray for them. You be that instrument of righteousness, that instrument of comfort. And remember, when you were in that time, the Lord sent someone your way. And if you're feeling discouraged right now, know this, that because of your mourning, you will be comforted. The Lord will send someone. The Lord will help you. The Lord, even today, may be using this particular video to speak into your life. Understand this. When you are in that time of mourning, the Lord will be your comfort. Let Him help you today. Let Him strengthen you today. Let Him bring you into a place of victory today. Let His peace that passes all understanding fill your heart and mind right now in Christ Jesus. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is your daily Bible class. You have yourself a great and godly day.